The idea of carving the world into, an aspect of your home life, your work life, your religious life is not the way the Chinese tend to cut the pie. Religion isn't one there. Religion is, whether it be Buddhism or Islam or Christianity, comes from the outside and it's something new. But they're creating a new identity, so there could possibly be a room for this, but it's just, so it may be that this is, lots of people are trying this out. Mr. Wu said that he thought that there would be a rebirth in Confucianism in China soon, because there's this re-examination of how does the world fit together. And Confucianism is all about relationships. It's all about the relationship of, the king to everything else. And you could do a neo-Confucian, a modern take on that, in the same way that we have, hierarchical scripture, in our own religious tradition, for example, and yet we're not going around saying being part of our faith means you have to have a king. I mean, they could be a reinterpretation of that Confucianism. And there's a lot of compatibility between Christianity and Confucianism. That's what's really interesting. And I may have told you before that there are 18 centers of process thought in China, which is this white, we were talking about process theology, which is a kind of Whiteheadian metaphysic, which has to do with not talking about God as sovereign so much, but God as partner in creation. It's a lower understanding of God, and it's extremely relational. So you're talking about how God is constantly, is the creative power in the universe that's constantly giving us options to make decisions at various times. You'll have in China high government officials that are reading Whitehead. Because this is part of this synthesis that may be coming across, which is related to the possibility of Christianity. The government also is looking very positively upon Christianity, because in many areas, particularly among ethnic minority peoples and out in the hinterlands, it has a very strong Baptist tint, and it came along with abstinence, alcohol abstinence. And this has had a very beneficial effect upon low-income villages. And so what the government is seeing is that villages that have a high percentage of Christians are economically benefiting from this. And so the government attitude towards Christianity, at least the registered church,
and is that the
shifting.
Protestant versus the Catholic?
I don't know about the Catholic. I just don't know anything about it.
Okay.
But the Mormons are there also. So you can see how that may expand in a big way if it's...
And that's relational, and it's not Christian, strictly speaking. It'd be interesting to see how that...
The alcohol abstinence piece is important.
But this element where the government is beginning to look kindly upon Christianity in particular, apparently more so than Buddhism. And I visited the Chinese Academy of Social Sciences in Beijing because, it's like this big, they even control religion from way up here. It's very strange. But it may be that Christianity is going to get a most favored religion status. But maybe it'll be particularly Protestantism, preferably in the Baptist abstinence version of it. So, it's just so different for their involvement of religion than what we're accustomed to. I have some foundation in the history and culture, but still, it's been such a, it was so much not what I expected.